Yeah. Mhm. Now, Washington states have ruled that the judges must find that a person's sexual orientation would harm the child. Yeah. Used as a basis for denying custody or visitation. I'm thinking that denying me my rights as a father, yeah, is really ignorant, in fact, prejudicial against a heterosexual, in fact, I've said a masculine heterosexual male. I know a lot of judges find my appearance concerning, yes, as if I were looking threatening at them. Pooch. But when I tell you that I want to sue you and have you put in prison, yeah, if you feel threatened, that's because that's what I want to do. I want to sue you and have you put in prison. Now, judges often use best interest standard to deny a homosexual parent custody. Oh, or should I say a heterosexual parent custody of their children because they don't want to recognize the rights of their father. Now, is race ever an issue in custody or visitation decisions? The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled it unconstitutional for a court to consider race when a non-custodial parent petitions for a change of custody. Now, in that case, a white couple had divorced, and the mother had been awarded custody of their son. Now, I'm a Caucasian, heterosexual, pooch, male, pooch, that has not had my rights enforced, and you issued dissolutions of marriage where there was no proof of service, where I didn't actually receive the dissolution of marriage, where all you wanted to do was say I was crazy, yes, for not realizing how criminal it is. Now, if you feel threatened, judge, that's because I want to have you put in prison and I want to sue you for everything that you own. Yes. It seems that the sheriffs and the police departments dislike this whole idea of me actually telling them what I want to do. Yes. Now, I would say that cannot be the basis for custody decision. Palmore versus Sadati. Yes, yes, yes. The Florida court grant, but the U.S. Supreme Court reversed, ruling that societal stigma. Now, maybe I have a stigmata. Pooch, I got holes in my hands. Ooch. This societal stigma where you decided to enroll my sons in school 2 years behind their peers. Yes. So to make it look like that what was being done in the best interest of the children, right, was actually the fraud of not challenging them so as to be where their peers are at in school. Yes. And then this stigma, ouch, of being homeless. Well, I've told you for the last 3 years. The societal stigma of being a homeless man that informs law enforcement every day, yes, of the crime of child abduction, kidnapping, being white, being male, being heterosexual, yes. Now I'm going to want them today, and I'm going to want to sue you for attaching to myself a societal stigma. Well, you said I was a domestic abuser. Yes. I was a child abuser. Pooch. I was a pedophile. Paul. I was a rapist. I was deranged, delusional, schizophrenic, bipolar. Pooch. I'm going to want to sue you for all the stigma that you have attached to my name for the last 7 years and 4 months. Why don't we go through the background checks again? Let's go through all the recorded hearings where the mother said they're doing so good in school, we just don't want their father involved. They're really playing sports and they're doing much better than the other students. Pooch. Now, the parent with physical custody should be myself, is generally in the driver's seat regarding what is reasonable. This morning I looked at what is sensible. Yes, yes, yes. It's not very sensible using forgeries and fraud. Yeah. As in, you're going to have me admitted to a mental institution for not realizing that the protection order is fraudulent, for not realizing that the dissolution of marriage is fraudulent. You're going to have me admitted to a mental facility and administer psychotropic medication against my will because of your fraud, ooch, your child abduction, your conspiracy, this whole idea that you're in the driver's seat regarding what is reasonable for my five sons, when I documented it was unreasonable. I'm going to need you to get out of the driver's seat today. It's very unsensible to grant custody of children to the parent that lies about their actual grade level when enrolling in school. Yes, lies about her actual sexual. Now, this need not be bad if the parents cooperate to see that the kids spend a maximum amount of time with each parent. Every time you obligated a mental health evaluation, yeah, where I was arrested for a crime that happened in school in Washington and I wasn't there, yes, happened to be a fraudulent mental health evaluation, yes, yes, October 16th, 2016, yeah. Then you arrest me for the allegation of a crime in Brennan, Washington, yes, where you obligated me to two fraudulent mental health evaluations, yes, when the police had the documentation I wasn't in Brennan, Washington, yes. Now, I have told you numerous times over the last 3 years, yes, that the parent, yes, Now, this fairly detailed parenting plan known as the parenting agreement, yeah, I never got a copy of it. Now, the judge in my divorce case has mentioned a parenting agreement. What is that? Ooh, a parenting agreement is a detailed written agreement between a divorcing couple, yeah, that describes how they will deal with visitation, holiday schedules, vacation, religion, education, and other issues related to their child. Now, I didn't get a copy of the parenting agreement. I didn't get notice of court hearings. You intentionally sent them to the wrong address and then said that as a homeless man, I didn't know what you were doing. Now, I'm thinking, yes, that I should have custody and Heidi could talk to me about when she's going to get visitation. Ouch. Her holiday schedule for the next 20 years. Ouch. Vacations. The actual religion of my sons. Poop. And then what kind of education are they going to have? They're going to keep attending school in the Quilcene School District. I don't think so. I think I'm going to jerk them right out of school as soon as I get my rights enforced. And then I'm going to make them get their GEDs or their diplomas, yes, wherever I require them to go to school. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I never got notice of what was known as divorce proceedings. Yes. After she motioned the court for a default dissolution of marriage. Yes, yes, yes. The court never felt a compulsion. Yes. To prove that I was given, yes, actual notice of divorce proceedings. Oh. Now, just looking at this NOLO, okay, I'm not in a big hurry. It's Christmas today, and I have a lot of lawsuits. Now, this lives, what's this? The sole custody of my children. My ex-spouse, who's still my spouse because of the marriage certificate, lives in another county, Jefferson County, has threatened to go to court in their as a state, or maybe she wants to go to Jefferson County and up the amount of child support that I owe. All states and the District of Columbia have enacted a statute called the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction Act, the UCCJA. Now, let's say I sue every state of the United States for having knowledge of the fraud of enrolling my sons in school 2 years behind where they should be. Yes, because I think it does violate the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction Act. Now, I don't have a copy of that law right in front of me, but there might be some pro bono attorneys, yes, that would look up the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction Act and ask themselves when a wife enrolls the children, yes, in school and they're going to graduate when they're 19 and a half years old. Oh my gosh, look at that. These standards for when a court may make a custody determination. Now, how many states really want me being, oh, just get me every state of the United States? I'm kind of thinking, oh, I'm not in a big hurry. Having the same law in all states helps standardize how custody decrees are treated right now. Now, this custody decree, when you didn't have an actual marriage license from any state of the United States, and you didn't have a marriage license or marriage certificate from any nation of reciprocity, yes. And then there's the fraudulent use of the social security numbers in my last name, yes. And then there's the issuance of protection orders where there is no signature of the petitioner, yes. And then there is the fraud of having me arrested for crimes I didn't commit, yes. I'm just wanting to sue each and every state of the United States today. Now, so in general, a state may make custody decisions about children only if it meets one of these tests. The state is the child's home state. Pooch. You know, being residents of the United States territory of Guam, Benjamin's home state was the U.S. territory of Guam. Yes. I was not a resident of Washington state until January 7th. Yes. I don't think you could file for dissolution of marriage until I had actually been a resident for 6 months. Now, this means the child has resided in the state for the 6 previous months. I hadn't resided in the state the 6 previous months, and I'm the father of Benjamin. Or was residing in the state but is absent because a parent took a child to another state. A parent who wrongfully removed a child.